India's rapid and steady rise is not a good sign for China.
Well, I'm actually incredibly excited about the future of India. I think India has more promise than any large country in the world.
For too long, China has overshadowed India as a central economic and geopolitical power in Asia. But now things are changing, and things are changing fast. Fueled by intense determination and its massive youthful population spurring rapid economic growth through startups, India plans to become an economic juggernaut rivaling China. Strengthening alliances with the US, Japan, ASEAN nations, and Australia builds a coalition seen as a threat by China, while Indian firms' breakthroughs in AI, quantum computing, and 5G threatens China's technology dominance over the region. The question is, will India's audacious plan succeed, or will China find a way to stop India's rise? The future of Asia hangs in the balance. Tensions are at a fever pitch. Stay tuned to find out which Asian giant will come out on top in the battle for dominance of the 21st century. Chapter 1. India's Master Plan to Rule Asia and Counter China's Rise. India and China are two of the oldest civilizations in the world, with a history spanning thousands of years. Both have been regarded as super civilizations by many due to their unparalleled influence in almost every field. Economically speaking, both these nations have dominated the world for much of history, contributing to around 50 to 60% of the world GDP for much of the last 2,000 years. Today, though, things stand changed. Over the last decade, India has emerged as an increasingly influential player in Asia through a multi-pronged strategy aimed at countering China's dominance while bolstering India's regional standing. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision and policies have focused on leveraging India's economic growth, strategic partnerships, and diplomatic efforts to reshape the geopolitical balance of power in the region. India's economy has grown at an average rate exceeding 6.5% annually over the past decade, placing it among the world's fastest growing. This strong and sustained economic growth has provided India with the means to assert itself regionally and globally. India's rising prosperity allows it to offer opportunities for economic partnership and collaboration with other countries in the region. India's GDP is expected to surpass that of Germany and Japan by 2027, making it the third largest economy in the world. This increasing economic clout gives India greater diplomatic leverage and influence. To enhance connectivity within the region, India has invested heavily in infrastructure projects like roads, railways, and ports. These initiatives strengthen economic and political ties with India's neighbors as well as with ASEAN members. India sees deepening economic collaboration with ASEAN as central to its strategy of counteracting China's dominance. India's trade with ASEAN now exceeds $100 billion annually, and India is ASEAN's fourth largest trading partner and third largest export destination. The flourishing economic ties signal India's potential to balance China's influence. India also shares cultural bonds with many ASEAN countries through unprecedented religious, cultural, and linguistic influence dating back millennia. If India's multi-pronged strategy continues to succeed, it could reshape the geopolitical balance of power in Asia for years to come. However, India still faces challenges in matching China's economic and military might. China's GDP is 5 times that of India's, and its military spending exceeds 3 times India's. Nonetheless, India's strong economic growth, strategic partnerships, and diplomatic efforts have enabled it to emerge as a counterweight to China's dominance. Chapter 2. China's Rise and India's Response. China's ascent on the global stage has been nothing short of extraordinary. With its rapid economic growth and ambitious plans, it has become a force to be reckoned with. But as China's power grew, so did its ambitions, and this has not gone unnoticed by India. China's assertiveness in the South China Sea, its territorial disputes with neighboring countries, and its ambitious Belt and Road Initiative have raised concerns among its neighbors, including India. The dragon has awakened, and India knows it must respond strategically to safeguard its interests. The Indian Prime Minister has made it clear that complacency is not an option. India must strengthen its economy, modernize its military, and forge alliances with like-minded nations to ensure its security and prosperity. India's response to China's rise has been multifaceted and intense. On the economic front, India has implemented a series of reforms to attract foreign investment, improve infrastructure, and promote domestic manufacturing. The Made in India campaign aims to reduce dependence on Chinese imports and boost India's manufacturing capabilities. India knows that it must enhance its economic competitiveness to counter China's dominance. By attracting foreign investment and promoting domestic manufacturing, India aims to create jobs, boost exports, and reduce its trade deficit with China. But India's response doesn't stop there. It is also focused on strengthening its military capabilities. Defense spending is increased, and the armed forces are being modernized with advanced weaponry and technology. India's Act East policy aims to deepen defense cooperation with countries in the Indo-Pacific region. As China continues to rise, India's response remains fierce and unwavering. Economic reforms, military modernization, and diplomatic initiatives are all part of India's grand plan to dethrone China in Asian geopolitics. The battle for supremacy has just begun, and India is ready to fight. If you want to understand how India is rising as a geopolitical force in Asia to counter China's growing influence, then don't forget to smash that subscribe button and ring that bell. Stay tuned as we reveal India's strategic moves, military buildup, and economic partnerships that are shaping a new balance of power in this critical region. Chapter 3: India's Grand Strategy: Economic Clout and Military Might. India understands that to challenge China's dominance, it must not only match its economic prowess, but also bolster its military capabilities. India's grand strategy revolves around two pillars: economic growth and military modernization. India has embarked on a path of economic reforms aimed to attract foreign investment, improve infrastructure, and foster innovation. As touched upon earlier, the Made in India campaign has been instrumental in promoting domestic manufacturing and reducing reliance on Chinese imports. By focusing on economic growth, India aims to enhance its clout on the global stage and create a strong foundation for its geopolitical ambitions. It seeks to become a manufacturing hub, a center for innovation, and a magnet for foreign investment. India's young and dynamic workforce, coupled with its vibrant startup ecosystem, positions it as a formidable competitor to China. The goal is clear: to become an economic powerhouse that can rival China's dominance. But economic clout alone is not enough. India recognizes the need to bolster its military capabilities to ensure its security and protect its interests. Defense spending is increased, and the armed forces are undergoing modernization with advanced weaponry and technology. India's defense budget for 2023-24 is $72.6 billion, which is the fourth highest in the world. Now, this represents a 13% increase over the previous year's budget. The budget includes funding for the procurement of new weapons and equipment, as well as for the modernization of existing forces. India is also increasing its focus on indigenous defense production to reduce its reliance on imports. India's military modernization program aims to enhance its capabilities across all domains, including land, air, sea, and space. It seeks to develop a robust defense infrastructure and maintain a credible deterrent against any potential threat. India's grand strategy is a delicate balance between economic growth and military might. By combining these two pillars, India aims to establish itself as a formidable force in Asian geopolitics and challenge China's dominance in the region. Chapter 4: Forging Alliances: India's New Friends in the Asia-Pacific. India understands the importance of building alliances and partnerships to counter China's growing influence. It has been actively engaging with countries in the region, forging new friendships and strengthening existing ones. India's diplomatic efforts are focused on creating a united front against China's expansionist policies and promoting a rules-based order in the region. It seeks to build a network of like-minded nations that share its vision of a free and open Indo-Pacific. One of India's key alliances is with the United States. The two countries have been deepening their defensive cooperation, conducting joint military exercises, and sharing intelligence. The partnership aims to maintain a balance of power in the region and ensure a stable and secure environment. India's alliance with Japan is another crucial pillar of its strategy. The two countries share common concerns about China's assertiveness and have been working closely on defense cooperation, infrastructure development, and maritime security. Australia is also emerging as a key partner for India. The two countries have been strengthening their defense ties, conducting joint naval exercises, and collaborating on regional security issues. Together, they aim to counter China's growing influence in the Indo-Pacific. India's alliances extend beyond the Quad. It has been actively engaging with countries like Vietnam, Indonesia, and Singapore, among others, to enhance defense cooperation, promote economic ties, and ensure a stable regional order. By forging alliances with new friends in Asia, India aims to create a united front against China's expansionist policies. These partnerships not only strengthen India's position, but also contribute to regional stability and security. Chapter 5. Will the tiger and dragon dance or fight? The relationship between India and China is a complex mix of competition, cooperation, and conflict. Both countries are rising powers with their ambitions and aspirations, and their paths are bound to intersect. Border disputes, such as the one in the Himalayas, have strained the relationship between India and China. The two countries have engaged in military standoffs and diplomatic talks to resolve their differences, but tensions persist. Despite the challenges, India and China have also recognized the importance of cooperation. They are major trading partners, and economic ties between the two countries have grown significantly over the years. The trading volume between the two is expected to cross $100 billion in fiscal year 2023. Both nations have a stake in maintaining stability and promoting economic growth in the region. However, as China's influence expands and its assertiveness grows, India has become more cautious. It's determined to protect its interests and ensure a level playing field in the region. The question remains, will the tiger and dragon dance or fight? The answer lies in the hands of both nations. While conflict is not inevitable, it cannot be ruled out entirely. The complex dynamics between India and China will continue to shape the geopolitical landscape of Asia. It's in the interest of both countries to find common ground, resolve their differences peacefully, and work towards a stable and prosperous future. The world is watching, and the choices made by India and China will have far-reaching consequences. As India's supreme plan to dethrone China in Asian geopolitics unfolds, the future of the tiger and dragon remains uncertain. Will they find a way to coexist peacefully, or will their ambitions lead to a clash of titans? Only time will tell.